Hi everyone, I'm Lori Duncan, physical therapist in Colorado, and welcome to Blog Talk. Today we're going to be talking about the lat, the latissimus dorsi, or some people know it as the swimmer's muscle. The thing about the lat, it is one of the most important muscles in our system. It is part of the core system, and it has dual roles, meaning there are muscles in our system that are only meant to do a big stability role. And there are muscles in our system that are only meant to do a big movement role. And then there's muscles in our system that have a dual role. And the lat happens to be one of them, along with the glutes, which is pretty cool. So recently, a lot of people in my world know me as trying to really train up the glutes because you need them for all your athletics and your walking and basically everything. And so I've been starting to say to my patients, well, the lat is the glute of the shoulder. So let's go back and talk about what I was meaning when it has a dual role. So the lat actually acts as a stabilizer and a mover, and it's part of the core system. So yes, when you train your lat to pull like this, or you're doing a bent over row and you're really pulling that back, that's absolutely training the lat. But it's training the lat for its strength qualities and the big movement of it. It's not training it for the stability that is required for our arms to move very efficiently, for some of our posture. And the thing is without this big, beautiful lat, things start to take over. So first, let me show you a little anatomy in my very loved Netter book. So here's the lat, and you can see how really big and vast it is, right? It has a nice, beautiful communication down here with the opposite glute and the thoracolumbar fascia. And then it actually comes up on these bottom four ribs. It actually hooks onto the shoulder blade here and then comes over and hooks onto the arm. So you can see if this big, huge, lovely, stabilizing muscle, right, is not working well, that's why we start to creep up and feel things either in our neck or on the outside. Look at really how ginormous that is. It's next to the glutes. It's one of the biggest muscles we have. Okay, so now the question is, well, how do I train my lat for stability? Nobody's talking about this, and it's not that complicated, but here's the one thing. We have to make sure we're fixing the pattern first, meaning if you sit or stand in the mirror and you try to pull your arms behind you, your neck should not turn on. And for so many people who have a weak stabilizing lat and they're overcompensating the neck, this in itself is an exercise. This is something I will give my patients. I'm like, you're going to have to figure out the pattern before we can really train up the stabilization of it. Look at yourself in the mirror or in your phone or something like that, and you're just going to pull your arms behind and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Right? So I'm like thinking about opening my chest and wrapping around. And what you should feel is this muscle on either side really kicking on. All right. So if you do that, and this is so common, so don't freak out if it happens. But when you do that, if you turn on, and I'm trying to see, I can't do it, but if your neck goes ding, then you know why you're having neck pain all the time. Because the big mover of our arm, right, is the lat. So of our shoulder, arm, however you want to think about it. And so if you're trying to, this is weak, you're trying to make it up somewhere else. So this is step number one, is find the right pattern. Squeeze in the mirror, no neck. So if you can only go to here, that's all you go. You're trying to wake up that loop in your brain to get down onto that lat. All right. Number two, one of the ones I love is you take a TheraBand, right? So it's hooked on to a door. Light TheraBand, guys. Stability requires not a lot of resistance. It requires more of this finesse and quality. So a nice light TheraBand. And you think about getting your shoulder blade down your back, and then you're going to pull your arm down. So for a lot of people, because this side lat is usually a little bit weaker than the lat when it does extension back here. This is called adduction. But you can just be on your knees and just pull that down. And for a lot of people, they can only go this little bit at first. But it's so cool. After a week, 10 days, people are like, man, I finally figured that out. Or you might notice that when you start to pull it, if you have a lot of neck pain, you're doing this, right? And that's not what that does. You want to pull that all the way down. So once you find the pattern, what's a good way to work on this lat stability and extension? Take that TheraBand now and face it, right? Now you're going to grab it with both hands and you're going to pull your arms down and squeeze. But here's the deal. It's not just pulling it here. It's this huge squeeze. If I turn around and show you, you're going to see that huge, huge squeeze, right? Like you're squeezing a pencil back there. So first, you need to find the lat without your neck. Number one. Then start working on that side stability with the TheraBand and pulling it back with the TheraBand. And we're talking maybe 10 reps, quality, feeling it. It is not a strength activity, guys. So don't think you're going to be like walking away with like a good gym workout. It is just to find it and get your brain to understand that the lat is the glute of the shoulder. Thanks for watching and have a great day.